Hey everyone, D-Pad Danny back again, and I've got some more Switch pickups to talk about. You guys enjoyed the last video, it seems, so I've gotten quite a few additional Switch pickups since then, about 2 months ago, so I figured we'd, talk about those today. So I'm going to jump right into it. We're going to start with the retail releases, or rather, the ones I've gotten from retail. So, picked this one up from Target. New Pokemon Snap. So, I enjoyed Pokemon Snap back in the day for the N64, even though I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan. And my wife and kid both had some interest in this one, so I got it. Hadn't played it yet. They both have played it. They said it's good. I'd imagine it's more of the same, just, more content, better graphics, stuff like that. So, I'm sure I'll check this one out at some point. Alright. So next, Best Buy was having a sale here recently. They had a lot of games for $20 or under, so I just randomly picked up a couple of them. Not randomly. This one here is one I actually wanted a while ago, but I've been waiting for a good deal on it, and that's Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD. So, Super Monkey Ball goodness, mini games, stuff. I'm not good at these games, but I like watching people who are good at these games. Like, look up a speed run of Super Monkey Ball and it'll blow your mind. But, this is good multiplayer fun. My wife likes the series to some degree. We used to play, we still play Monkey Billiards 2 on Super Monkey Ball 2 sometimes. So, looking forward to checking this one out. Maybe we'll check that one out multiplayer. These two I got just because they were there and cheap. This one's Supermarket Shriek. It's like a racing game where you avoid obstacles and stuff. You can play as a dude or a goat, and you're racing in different shopping themed areas. It seems kind of silly. I don't know how much replayability it has, but it's 1 through 4 players, so that could be a fun multiplayer one. And it just looked silly, and I'd never heard of it. So Supermarket Shriek, still sealed. Again, most of these are still going to be sealed. I've only actually popped open a few of these, so whatever. And we have G.I. Joe Operation Blackout. Now, I'm not even a huge G.I. Joe fan or anything like that, but I thought, what the heck, it was cheap, and it looks like it's a squad-based PvP kind of game. Like you can see, it's got some PvP-looking gameplay or whatever. I don't know. The ratings or the reviews aren't very good on it. I don't think it's got a very good Metacritic score or anything like that, but so I'm not really expecting much out of it at all, but I might check it out at some point, or I'll just leave it in the plastic. Who knows? Alright, this next one I was kind of excited about just because it's so obscure, and I'm just... Chicken Range. So, it comes with a little shotgun attachment, but I was curious of how it would work because there's no sensor bar. So basically, it works on tilt controls, and they are awful. It takes no time at all for them to get off-centered, and before you know it, you're pointing back like this, trying to shoot something on the screen. It's really, really, really bad. I only bought it because of the gun, because I'm a sucker for stuff with peripherals, but this is not a good game. This is clearly a game that was on mobile for probably 99 cents or maybe even free, and they decided to port it to the Switch for some reason, and they decided to make it physical to include it with this peripheral, which is a waste because it's awful. You can also kind of just tap or use the joystick to change your cursor, but yeah, you just shoot chickens. There's really not much to it. It's just a novelty to have. It's gonna go up on my shelf, and I'll probably never take it back down because it's not good. Chicken Range. Okay, and that's it for the retail ones that I got. I got a bunch of them from mail-away sites. We're gonna start with this one from Pixel Heart. I think a couple people have published this one recently, but it's Tanooki Justice. So this one, it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pixelated platformer. I haven't opened it up yet because, again, I get these in, I set them down. I'm in the middle of playing like 2 or 3 games at a time, plus, playing stuff for videos. So a lot of these I'll get to eventually, but who knows when. But yeah, Tanooki Justice. It's a run-and-gun kind of platformer that's supposed to be a lot of fun. It's supposed to be a little bit of a challenge. I know people are speedrunning. I've seen people posted on it about Twitter. Posting about it on Twitter. I can speak, I promise. And yeah, it looks really good. Looks like 16-bit style graphics, so it looks like it's gonna be fun when I get around to it. But again, TBD. All right, so these two are the only two releases so far from Premium Edition games. We have Super Blood Hockey, which this is really a really silly game. It's basically ice hockey for the NES, but souped up and super bloody. And if you like ice hockey on the NES, you'll like this one. It's a lot of fun. My wife and I checked it out, and we were just laughing the whole time because it's so silly. You're just beating each other up, trying to get the puck, and we're both terrible at the game, but that made it that much more fun. But yeah, Super Blood Hockey it's a neat one, so check that out. Also, we have the other release from Premium Edition is Pigeon Dev Games Collection. Now, this is a collection of 4 games from Pigeon Devs, from Pigeon Dev, and it's Awesome P 1 and 2, Bucket Night, and what's it called? Bomb Jake. Explosive Jake, excuse me. Yeah, it's cool. They come with these little slide. The Premium Edition one comes with a little kind of slide action. That's really cool. But yeah, Awesome P 1 and 2 are platformers. Bucket Night is like a run and gun, jump and shoot. And Explosive Jack, that is correct, right? Let me check again. Yes, Explosive Jack is it looks kind of like a Bomberman style game. I haven't checked this one out yet, but my son has. So one thing to note about Premium Edition, some of these limited pressing companies, they come with like, Limited Run does trading cards. I think Strictly Limited does like postcards. So Premium Edition, they have a challenge card. So it comes with a card that says, here's a challenge that you can perform in-game, and if you perform the challenge, send us a pic and we'll send you like a patch, like an actual physical patch like you'd put on like a shirt or a jacket. So for Pigeon Dev Games Collection, the challenge is just beat the last stage of any of the 4 games. And then for Super Blood Hockey, the challenge is perform a fatality in, I think they call it a fatality, in career mode. So basically kill somebody in career mode. So that's kind of neat because, yeah, trading cards and stuff like that's neat, but I feel like this makes it a little bit more interactive, and I can really appreciate that because it's kind of cool. Anyway, I look forward to seeing what the 3rd Premium Edition games release is going to be. So, alright, moving on to Limited Run. Everyone knows Limited Run. So I just got these 2 in today, and these weren't originally going to be on the video because I had already had it listed out of what I was going to include, everything up to today. But these, because USPS, I won't get into that, but because USPS would like to mark things as delivered when they're not actually delivered, they said it was here yesterday, and it got here today. So I was like, alright, I guess since they did in fact arrive, I will include them. So I got Shantae, Risky's Revenge. This is, now correct me if I'm wrong, because I've never played any of the Shantae games, despite them looking really good and me being a fan of Way Forward and everyone having nothing but good things to say about the series. I think this is the sequel to the original Shantae, and this was on the DS originally. It's platformer. You can shapeshift and do different magical things to turn into things and solve puzzles to get to new areas and stuff. It's a really well-loved series, and I'm glad that I finally got one of them so I can kind of dive into it. And in that same vein, I have Shantae Half Genie Hero Ultimate Edition. This is one of the later ones. I believe this one was originally on the Wii U, so this isn't the newest one, but I think it's one of the newer ones. Anyway, you can't go wrong from what I understand. I heard they're all really good, so, I'm glad to have gotten these 2 now. So those are my 2 limited run pickups. And more from Super Rare, because I've really been enjoying Super Rare's releases because they're always indie titles. Sometimes I've heard of them, sometimes I haven't. And they're usually pretty good. And another thing is that with Super Rare, you order them and then they send them. It's not like Limited Run where it's like, we're making this 8 to 12 months in the future, buy it now, we'll send it to you when it's ready. Now with Super Rare, from what I understand, it's like, hey, we're in the process of making these, or we've already made these, we have X amount available, have at it. We'll send them, in order of queue. So I've really been liking Super Rare games. But So the ones that I picked up from them recently are Creeks, which is a puzzle platformer. It's got a really cool art style. It's kind of storybook, kind of shadowed and dark with nice defined outlines, and almost kind of a distorted sketch kind of style. I really like the art style, and that's what drew me to this game. I had it on my my wish list on the eShop, and then I saw that they were doing a physical of it, and I was like, yeah, okay. So I picked that one up. Hadn't played it yet. Creeks. This next one, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's ITTA. I'm going to assume it's Ita. I'm going to say that this game is called Ita. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you should happen to know. Maybe it's one of those Gradius sort of things. I'm not really sure. But this one interested me because it's a mashup of two different kinds of games. And I'm a big fan of games that try different genres or hybrids of different genres. So what this is it's like a mix between a top-down Legend of Zelda adventure game and a bullet hell. So it plays like an adventure game, but you're avoiding enemy shots as they're just covering the screen. I don't anticipate this is going to be a game I'm going to be very good at as a result, because I'm not the greatest at shooters, especially bullet hells. But it was really interesting to me, just the kind of art direction and the, like I said, the two assumed genres. I say assumed because I haven't played it, but from what I gather, that's kind of how it is. It's like a Legend of Zelda meets like a bullet hell shooter. So, Ita. And then there's the last one I have from Super Rare here is Lonely Mountains Downhill. So this is a biking game where you just, you're mountain biking on different mountains and you're avoiding different obstacles, and it looks really cool. I like the minimalistic art style. You see, it's kind of blocky and polygons. Yeah, you're just going through trails and trying to survive each trail. And from what I understand, they get progressively harder. And it looks like a really neat little game. And it's in this cool little slipcase that's got these tire tracks on it. So that's really neat as well. And a lot can be said for good packaging. All right, this last game that I'm showing today is from PlayAsia. I ordered the Cotton Special Edition from them last time, as well as, Mr. Driller and Kawase Fresh. Umahare Kawase Fresh. Anyway, those games are not being featured here. We talked about those last time, but I saw this and I thought, wow, that's really, really neat. And so I had to do some research on it to see if it would even be playable for somebody who doesn't speak Japanese or read Japanese. And it is absolutely playable. So what I have here is Typing Quest for the Switch. So this comes with a little USB keyboard, and it comes with a little dock. And a cool takeaway for this is the dock might be the coolest part of it, because it's everything that a full-size dock has minus the TV out. And as a result, it's compatible with the Switch Lite. It's Hori brand, and they make good products. So yeah, it's cool. So you can basically, if you're not using this for the keyboard setup at the time, you can actually use that as a charging dock for your Lite, which is really neat. But yeah, this is an RPG where you type. Like, you'll just be walking around. Think what was it, Adventure Quest? The old Flash RPGs online. So it's kind of like that, but you're just walking along and you run into an enemy, and it'll be a word you need to type, or a single character. I actually had to go through 3 stages or so of single character keystrokes before I started hitting words. But they're Japanese words, but they're spelled out in English characters. So, and the keyboard is an English keyboard, so theoretically you could sort of learn some Japanese while you do this, but I feel like you're probably just going to be paying attention on what keys to hit more so than, absorbing what the actual information is. But I thought this was a really cool thing. And again, talking about with Chicken Range, I like games that come with their own peripherals. I'm a sucker for it, and this was really, really neat. And I played it a little bit, and it's kind of fun. I'm definitely going to play some more of this. But yeah, Typing Quest. That's the big one for this time around. But yeah, guys, that's all of them. That's all my recent Switch pickups. I appreciate you guys watching. There'll be more content on the way in the recent weeks, so if you're not following or subscribed, make sure you do so. Check me out on Twitter, @DPadDanny. I'll be back with another video next week. As always, thanks, and take care.